What does it mean to detransition? For some people, it's walking back gender-affirming steps. For others, it's a journey towards self-discovery. Welcome back, guys. In this video, we are going to be talking about real stories. People who once transitioned and then detransitioned, and people who stayed with their trans identity and found themselves through that process. We'll also dive into the research, why detransition happens, how common it is, and what the medical field says about it. First off, guys, let's clarify. Detransitioning does not necessarily mean full regret. According to medical definitions, detransitioning can involve stopping hormones, reversing surgeries, or changing how someone presents. Importantly, not all detransitioners express regret. Some say their transition helped them understand themselves better, even if they later shift direction. First off, let's take a look at a documentary very well done by 7 News Spotlight. Take a look.
My name is Chloe Cole, and I was allowed to transition at 12 years old. I believe that children deserve better than having their momentary feelings dictate how the rest of their life plays out.
At 12, Chloe changed her name to Leo. 1 year later, she began changing her body.
I was 13 when I began taking puberty blockers and testosterone, and I was 15 when I underwent the double mastectomy and I had my breasts surgically removed.
You were 15 when you had the operation?
Yes.
One thing Chloe's case proves beyond doubt is that location has nothing to do with the way kids can be influenced. She grew up here in rural California, best known around these parts for being the pumpkin capital of the world. But it may as well be country Victoria or outback Queensland. The point is, for developing children in online communities, where they physically are makes no difference to how they may feel about their physical self.
Before you had the operation, did you think of yourself as a girl or a boy?
I didn't really have any doubts about being a girl up until I was maybe about 11 or 12, when I would look at myself and I felt so ugly. Like I wasn't shaped like how I thought women were supposed to look like. I wasn't particularly curvy. I had smaller, less developed breasts and hips, and I liked having my hair short. I didn't dress femininely, and I thought that I would never make a good woman. That in a lot of ways, I would be better off as a boy, and I even questioned at times why I was born the way that I was. But it wasn't until I was introduced to the transgender community online that I actually started to think of myself as a boy.
So you were having enormous self-image problems.
Right.
Did your mum or your dad say, please don't do this?
Yeah, I mean, I would talk with them about starting on testosterone, and I remember my mom telling me, like, it's not gonna make you happy, you know? Like, it's not gonna fix every issue you have, and you should probably wait until you're an adult to do stuff like that, which was beyond a reasonable response, really. But I just thought that they didn't understand. I was taught that this was the only option that I had to be myself.
Listening to those stories in that documentary, it might seem like a majority of people who transition later regret it, but that is not the case. How common is trans regret? The answer is very low, but more complex than one number fits all. A meta-analysis of 27 studies found an average regret rate at less than 1%. According to a critical review, rates of detransitioning or discontinuing hormones varied depending on the study, from very low up to 8% in some cohorts. In a survey of 100 detransitioners, researchers found a wide diversity of experiences. Not everybody reverts to their assigned at birth gender. Some identify as non-binary after, and others still consider themselves transgender, but in a different way. Bottom line, detransitioning is quite rare, but happens sometimes. Some individuals feel that their gender identity evolves. In the survey of 100 detransitioners, many reported that mental health, trauma, or discovering that their dysphoria was tied to other issues played a large role. External pressure, discrimination, family rejection, or being outed in unsupportive environments are common. Some detransitioners said they didn't get enough information before starting the treatment. According to a survey, 46% felt counseling overpromised benefits, and many didn't even inform their clinicians when they stopped treatment. Regret is not universal. Even among detransitioners, many said they still don't regret their transition. Many say the journey helped them learn about themselves. YouTuber Calvin Lunt shares a very vulnerable and powerful story about his transition to detransition. Take a look.
Oh my god, I have my hormones up!
I lived my life as a trans woman for 3.5 years, and I had medicated for 9 months of those. I had a goal and I had a vision of having breast augmentation and changing certain parts of my body. I wanted to live my life as a woman. So for me growing up, I kind of always felt a little bit different. I mean, I was mixed race, I was brought up in like a white community, and you know, it's very feminine in many ways. So for me, there was not a place where I felt like I fully fitted in. So the whole thing around gay shame, for me, it definitely manifested itself out into many different ways. And you know, I took up drag, like that was perfect escapism for me to be as gay as possible, to be as loud as possible, and to be as in your face as possible. But to do that behind like the most biggest mask ever. Drag was such a comfortable place for me. It felt so comfortable for me to be in, and I was able to escape from Calvin. And Facebook was a huge addiction for me when I look back on it. One of the biggest ones was when I came out as transgender to my mum, and I'd done that without her knowing that I was filming her.
Yeah, my mum's on the way back from work, and I'm kind of waiting for her to get home. Oh my god, I'm so fucking nervous. Right, the past couple of weeks, I've been going to the doctors and that.
Yeah.
So you might as well just read the first bit anyway. I just want boobs, that's...
Why?
Why? Because I feel comfortable with that, and it's to do with gender identity and finding out what it is, because I don't identify myself as being a man or a woman, so that's...
What happened for boobs? Look into it.
Well, that's why I'm going to see a psychiatrist to talk more about it, so I'll learn more about it.
Quite uncomfortable to hear. It's uncomfortable to hear the language that I'm using. I haven't got a clue what I'm saying. There's this sense of I know what I want, but I don't know why I want it. And you know, I'm sat there and I'm like, just this confused kid that has got no idea what I'm doing. And I'm like putting myself out there to the world. I'm being congratulated for not having a clue about what I'm doing.
Thank you, Calvin, for being so vulnerable with your story. Many people who transition, most people who transition, do not regret their choice. Most trans people who receive affirming care never regret their decision. Large-scale studies consistently show very low regret rates. For many, transitioning means aligning their body to their identity. They report improved mental health, higher life satisfaction, and higher self-esteem. Detransitioning is real, but it's very complicated. For some people, like the stories we saw today, it is a regret. But for others, like Calvin, it's part of a deeper story of self-discovery. And for most, transitioning remains a source of joy and growth. What's most important? Not reducing people to a single statistic. Everybody has their own story and their own journey. Thank you guys very much for watching. This is a fascinating story. I hope you got some cool information out of this. I was fascinated by this whole process, this whole researching for this video. I love you guys. Know that you are loved, and be kind to others, be kind to yourself, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Mwah.